not hiring people, as you said earlier, I feel a 4% bad because I want hope. I want people to have a chance. I want people to have a change in their life, but I can't make them want the change as much as I want it for them.
Correct.
They have to want it.
Yep.
And you want it with your attitude, activity, and energy.
All right, welcome to the next level. Got my man Grady Polson on today. Grady, how we doing?
I'm fantastic, Mike. Happy to be on here.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me, man. We're going to switch gears a little bit, Grady. We talk a lot about sales on here, right, which is very important. But you are in that seat or where you are at this company now, not so much because of your own sales, because of the amount of people you recruited and help with their sales and help achieve their dream. Like that's really the I don't want to say the end game, but it's like you go from one to the other, right? You got to learn how to do this business. You did. You sold over 300K your first couple of years, and then you transitioned into building one of the biggest businesses within all of FFL. Last year, I believe you were up to, what was it, 120 million sold collectively with everyone on your team, which is awesome. But what I want to talk about is that recruiting process, because I feel like there's still a lot of misconceptions with recruiting. People think they have to be at a certain level to recruit. People think that, well, I don't have a business background, or I've never built a team before, or whatever crazy misconception. But just like the sales, to me, it always falls back to attitude, activity, right? You gotta be fishing in the right pond. You gotta have a big enough net out there casting. But then you also, when you get these individuals on the phone, you gotta have the right attitude. It's very similar to the sales attitude where we have what they're looking for. I love one of the best analogies Sean ever gave me was that doctor-patient analogy. Yeah. When you're sick, Grady, you got to go to the doctor for something, you go on their time, not yours. You don't call up, hey, Dr. Jones, I would like to come in today at 2 o'clock. They go, Grady, we have a 10 and a 3. Yeah, I'd love to come in at 2, Dr. Jones. Yeah, we don't give a shit. We have a 10 or a 3. Which one works? And what do, Grady? You make one of them work, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have no choice. But it's the same thing when we're recruiting. Like, and what's great about you is you lived in a world where it was quantity over quality for a long time, right? We talked about, if you haven't seen Grady's True Talk from this week, check that out. But you talked about having 30,000 distributors on your team in a network marketing business and not even making 6 figures in overrides. 30,000 people, right? And now, like, dude, I mean, with this 120 million last year, do you know how many agents you had roughly on your team?
The whole year, I think it was around over 4,000.
4,000, 120 million sold. And with 30,000, you didn't make 6 figures.
Yeah.
Big difference, right? So talk to me about, number one, where are you getting your recruits from?
Yeah. So first, Mike, always great to be on here with you. Appreciate you, bro, and all you and the corporate staff do. It's a true honor to get to spend some time with you, but also for all the hard work that you guys do. Think about like a cruise ship. Like if Sean's the captain, the cruise ship still can't move without everybody that's making all the wheels turn and keeping the coal in the engine. Right. So I just appreciate all you guys for all you do for our company. So
absolutely.
So for recruiting today, I mean, today is important, but I always try to give some clarity for people because I've done so many different things to get recruits to get to the point where I think I've found ideally the best type of recruit. And early on, day one, getting started, finding people to have conversations with, I literally used Craigslist and I would post. So Mondays and Thursdays were my dial days. So I'd stay up till midnight on Sunday and midnight on Wednesday until 12:01 a.m. Monday, 12:01 a.m. Thursday, right? I'd stay up till midnight the night before to post my Craigslist job posting about life insurance sales, top comp, free training and warm buyer leads and all the bullet points and my phone number. I posted in 4 or 5 different, 10 different markets. I have to pay the $35 to post it in the job posting on Craigslist. And because then on Monday and Thursday was my dial day. So I'm dialing at the same time as I'm like, oh, a lead came in or someone called or someone wants to talk about selling in the business. So because I knew on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Friday and Saturday, I'm in the field selling and I can't be recruiting because I need to be meeting with Bob and Betty.
Right.
And so And so that was how I started. And so from there, I evolved from Craigslist ads to ZipRecruiter to Facebook job posts to Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all the different things, Career Builder, everything. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to find recruits. And in the end, I think the best quality ones I've found are the ones that have come from organic marketing, right? I mean, obviously, let me backing up. The best ones have come from warm market.
Yeah.
They've come from friends of friends or people I knew or people that saw me working hard in my business going, you know what? That guy used to be a crazy party animal and now he's successful and he's, it looks like he's speaking at things. And what are you doing, Grady? Hey man, haven't talked in 10 years. What are you up to?
Yeah.
So that's one of them. But then at the same time, like other ambitious people I knew, like who are friends, family, and work associates that I was known or respected by, that I could say, hey man, I'm just getting started in this part-time insurance thing, and or this insurance thing. Are you looking to make any extra money part-time? Hey man, I just I made $1,300 today selling a policy. Oh, I made 7,000 last week. I made 21,000 last month selling insurance. This may or may not be for you. But if you're interested in learning a little bit more about it or getting started, there's a video I can send you that explains the business. And so that's kind of like where I started to get to the point where today now I use a lot of, online trainings, YouTube trainings, and drive them to different landing pages or just tell them to call me or text me or emailing me. Posting on social media is a great avenue as well because a lot of people are watching, right? You might have, you might be friends with 500 or 1,000 people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever social media. And maybe you engage with 20 to 50, right? Maybe 20 to 50 like your stuff and maybe make a comment. Well, the other 950 are watching and they have a network as well. And so if you're posting positive things or you're posting things about your life or your business or your ambitions, they might be in a place where their life isn't fulfilling them. And your post about how fun you're having in the business or the team you just brought on or your sales success this morning or this week might go, you know what? It's finally ready. I need to have a conversation with this person. I haven't talked to him in 5 years. I might not even know him that well, but there's someone that is doing well in something and I'm disenchanted with what I'm currently doing. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of, I jumped into a lot there, but the main thing that I'm focused on is trying to share positivity and then through trainings, drive them back to a landing page, drive them to have a conversation with me. And that's the best way I've found, because people that are like, it's almost like leads, right? If we swipe our card to buy life insurance leads, it's people that pattern interrupt and go, I'm ready to get my insurance taken care of. Something happened in my household. I just had a baby. We bought a house. My grandmother just passed away. Life insurance is something that I should take advantage of. I'm ready to make this decision. So that purchase conversation from buying client leads is 100% very corollary to like who I'm looking for as an agent. Someone that's like, hey, I'm ready to change this. I'm not looking for someone that's looking for a job. I'm not looking for someone that I got to coerce off the couch or motivate. I'm looking for motivated people. And you find that through sharing good content and good information about your business, that then they go, I would like to learn more about that. And if you don't have enough people, go out there and connect with more friends, post more positive things. There's you can boost your posts on the different social media channels that you can then spend money. But the social media aspect from content creation, for me, is the best thing that I'm finding to find good quality people right now.
Yeah. I mean, is it safe to say that if you're recruiting and if you're recruiting with FFL, you have to be on social media?
You're shooting your foot if you don't. It's like not being in the lead center or something, it's like not having a CRM. Like, you can't not, if you want to build a team, you don't want to build a team, don't feel the need, right? But if you do want to build a team, you should be, this is today's currency, right?
Correct.
It is broadcasting and CBS and ABC and NBC and all these mega media conglomerates held the power because they could charge $8 million for a Super Bowl commercial to show your 30-second commercial in front of 108 million people. Mm-hmm. And now if someone on social media has 5,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 or 1 million followers, they're not all going to see it, but your reach is far greater than anything that any standard human has ever. I mean, going back, we had emails like that was, which I still love email, but that was our main sort of metric for being able to mass communicate as individuals, not being a media conglomerate.
Yeah.
And so today, if you can grow a following, whether through being funny or through sharing positivity or sharing your life, or, I mean, in my neighborhood around here, there's like moms that like go to my kids' school that have like 150,000 followers because they show you how to tuck your shirt in right and make sourdough bread.
Yep.
And I'm like, you have 150,000 followers? And she's like, yeah, I got a free air purifier from this company for it's a $500 air purifier if I make one reel, and like, oh, they pay me $10,000 to like post about this. And I'm like, you can make full on incomes doing that.
Absolutely.
Or, in our world, you can find great people that want to sell life insurance and help families and make incredible money for their own.
Right. I mean, you're a testament to it. You saw Andrew Taylor on social media first before you joined FFL.
Yeah.
And that was what, 5, 6, like that wasn't today. That was 5, 6, 7 years ago.
It was 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Before social media was what it is today. And it's just, it's free to get started. Like you said, start. So if you're an agent, you want to recruit, build your social media, record some content, and you go, I can't record. Then get your upline or someone. Like, we built this company off of Sean's recruiting videos. Sean wasn't the one recruiting. We had a whole recruiting department, right? So, like, why is it any different than you with your team? Like, you mean to tell me, Grady, if an agent of yours goes, hey, Grady, I'd love to have you do an overview video for me, or can I take this video you have and use it? What are you going to say, no?
By all means.
By all means.
One of the best things you could do if you're a new agent or you're an existing agent, very popular right now, is a day in the life, right? Mm-hmm. Day 1 of being a life insurance agent. Day 2, day 7, what I did today, made 275 calls, talked to, 37 people, booked 17 appointments, made 3 sales, have 14 follow-ups the next 3 days. Crazy business, had some this, recruit, day in the life.
Right.
These are very, it's very common. Day in the life of a bodybuilder, day in the life of a social media influencer, right. Day in the life of a dad, right? You see these all over your feed now. And I hope someone takes this simple advice, do a day in life. I'm going to do 30 days to be an insurance agent, right? Yep. Watch your social media grow. Right. Because people it's a voyeuristic tendency of people wanting to see in other people's lives. What's this person doing?
Correct.
Also, when you do day 1 or day 7, people are like, well, what happened the other 6 days? And then, oh, it's day 7, but this was posted a week ago. Oh, he must be on day 14 now. Right. And if you can just be engaging and human,
yep.
People have an interest in that. This is a very... I don't know how it all works, but I know that is an interest of people.
Right.
So that's one of the cool things that will help grow your followers, grow your following, and help you find more people that might be interested in working with you.
Right. And it's not going to happen overnight. Like, how many people, maybe you were even one of them, that would follow us, follow someone else in this business for weeks, months, sometimes years, and then finally go, you know what? I've seen enough of these guys doing what they're doing. I'm actually going to reach out now.
The original video, the blue one you guys made back in the day, the like a blue cartoon video.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I might have watched that video 20 times before I reached out to Andrew the second time, and I was like, this can't be real. 120 up to 120% comp. People making 6 figures. They have leads. Like, this doesn't seem real. Like, how does this company exist?
Right. It takes time, man. You gotta keep dripping on them. But you gotta start somewhere, and don't expect your first video to get, 20,000 views, 100,000. It may get 12 views, and maybe 10 of them were you to just check to see. Who cares? Keep putting it out there, because to your point, eventually someone's going to see it. Eventually they're going to go back and watch the rest of your stuff. But you got to, in order, and I'm not a fisherman, Grady, but I know that one thing I know is true. You got to put bait on your line and throw that shit in the water to catch anything. The fish don't just jump in the boat, do they? I don't think that ever happens. You gotta have a net out there, and with social media, you can have as many nets out there as you want, as many lines out there as you want. Just keep pumping out the content. That's one part. Then you want to drive them somewhere. You mentioned, landing page. We have, if you're with us already, you can get a recruiting page through Integrity, through Thomas Arts. They created an
HCMS right now
HCMS.
Under my webpage. You go there and it's connected to you already. It's pre-created. And this is a big joint effort we did with Integrity and Thomas Arts. But go into your HCMS, last link, and it'll be coded to you. It'll be branded to you. Have your name, phone number, email, whatever you put in to create your HCMS account. Yep. And then it's a great video of Sean, about 4.5 minutes, explaining the business. name, email, phone. They hit submit. It goes right to you, to your email instantaneously, and follow up with them.
Right. And I promise you, and this isn't just me saying this because I work here, Grady, but we do this for FFL. We have our own landing page. Go to familyfirstlife.com. You can check it out. And all the content we put out, this video, we put out shorts, we put out TikTok, we put all kinds of stuff, and it all drives back to our landing page. Grady, we get close to 1,000 people a week filling that out. And you can, I mean, you talk about Jamie Cher. He's one. We've given him a bunch of these recruits. We've given these out. And what does everybody say? How can I get more? These are the best recruits ever because they're being screened out. They found our content. We drove them to our website. There's information on there. This is not like you're talking about like ZipRecruiter, all these. Everything works a little bit. But a lot of times what happens with those, we were talking before we got on, is these are people looking for a W-2 job. Yeah. And you're trying to convince them that they can do 1099 sales. And most of them, that's not even a desire of theirs. So already you're at like a disconnect, right? Yeah. These people that are filling out this form on your website, on ours, on these integrity sites you get through HCMS, they know what this is. They know it's life insurance sales. They know it's commission-based most of the time. There's no shock there. They've done some research first. A lot of people say they've already done their own research, and then they fill this out. But anybody can do that.
Yeah.
And the key is putting out the content. But like we talked about, what if I don't make content? There's a video of Sean. Sean's the best recruiter we got. He's the guy who started the company. He's president of the company. I'd rather take him recruiting over me. Take his video, pump it out there. So that's getting them in, Grady. But that's the activity part. But
sure.
Then someone's got to get on the phone with them, right? And to this day, you are still that person for your agency. Is that true?
Correct. I tried to delegate it for a little bit, just trying to play business, man. And
how'd that go?
And it didn't go great. It's just, it didn't go great.
Right.
Because, the person that I had doing it is a fantastic person. But the problem is they didn't have the story. They didn't have the pain. They didn't have the trials and tribulations that I'd gone through, and they couldn't directly relate to what this person who's looking for a chance, looking for an opportunity has.
Right.
And it being frontline in your business, being the recruiter for your business, having those conversations, because quickly you can just go, this person, it sounds like they just woke up. It's 4:00 in the afternoon. They have no tonality. Maybe there could be a multitude of reasons that you're going to go, I just don't know if I could get along with this person, right? And that's something that I need. If I'm the one that's been coaching them on selling and spending, hours with them, getting them their business up and running, I should be the filter at the beginning of the conversation. And so, those leads are great. And still, I would echo, one of the best things that everyone can go after in this beginning is your warm market.
Absolutely.
And we'll get back into what I say. I know you want to get into that, but like, if I could pitch you all one thing, and a great line from Trey Honeycutt is take 2 people a day from not knowing about FFL to knowing about FFL, and you can build an incredible business. The most people you already know. Right. And if you just get in here and start making some sales and focus on that, and then share that quick story with people, whether you do the day in the life thing that I'm talking about, or you just go call your buddies from high school, call your girlfriends that you used to work with, call your buddies that are ambitious, reach out to people that have ambition and drive and say, hey man, I just got started in this new thing, or I'm already working in this thing and I've done X, Y, and Z numbers. This may or may not be for you. And then send them that video link and let Sean present it.
Yeah.
And then that would be the best thing. So once you're getting into it,
real quick on that, Grady, what everyone needs to understand is when you are recruit, whether it's warm market, whether it's people off ads, whether it's applicants on your website, yes, the yes or no answer, they have equal value. Your job is to just check interest. If someone says, no, that's not for me, that's not a failure. You didn't do anything wrong. You checked interest. You got to think about it. It's not like a life insurance sale. Obviously, great if you fill out a lead, I go to your house and I don't help you with life insurance, I failed. I screwed that up. But if me and you know each other from school, whatever, previous job, and I go, hey, Grady, you ever thought about getting into life insurance? Why don't you check this out? And then you check it out and go, hey, Mike, that's not for me. That's not a failure. You talk about warm market recruiting. I was a warm market recruit. Sean did his banking where my wife worked at the time. Prior to us having kids, I was in construction. He recruited her. You know how many times he asked her, Grady? A lot. Over, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to go to this meeting so he can stop asking me. And she dragged me to it because her friend canceled, her coworker. That's the only reason I'm here. And I went to the meeting and I was like, oh man, this sounds pretty cool. Can I do it too? She ended up staying at the bank until we had kids. I got my license sold, and here I am today because Sean asked several times. He didn't take her saying no or maybe as a failure. Every time he showed up to the bank, he's like, you should check this out. You should come to this meeting. He invited her to probably 4 or 5 different meetings. Finally, she went, and here we are. So yes, no, maybe. They're all equal value. You, to your point, just ask the question. Just check interest.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always explain the exact same thing. I go, they're going to not watch the video. Yep. Great. You don't have to work with them. They're going to watch it and not be interested. Great. Don't have to work with them. Or they're going to watch it and have questions.
Right.
And all 3 are fantastic answers because then you've got clarity and you didn't waste any time. And
absolutely.
Yeah. That's for me, as I try to drive to a tool. It's called the credibility triangle. And it's you, your prospect, and some sort of a tool. In the past, in my MLM businesses, we use brochures or audios or magazines or cassette tapes. I mean, man, I'm dating myself.
Right.
Today, we've got videos.
Yep.
And it's a video presentation. You know, a lot of people have done sizzle calls, et cetera, where it's a quick presentation on this. Does this person have interest in entrepreneurship? Is this person interested in potentially having to buy their own leads? Do they have the capital for that? Or do they have the resources to get started in this business? Are they credible amongst the people that they're going to be working with? Do these things resonate with that person? Because people who are sales against sales and against marketing, and it just, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be part of it. I'm totally fine. When I get home at the end of the day, I want to not have to work anymore, right? In our world, in the sales entrepreneurship world, sadly, business doesn't turn off. Now, granted, you can ascend yourself to a level where you can manage it better, but in the beginning of anything, you've got to go with crazy intent to try to grow it, whether you're selling. But that resonates with some people, right? People that sell cars that work bell to bell, 8 to 8, they like doing that because they know the more time they're on the lot, the more people they're going to potentially walk into and that are going to potentially buy a car. It doesn't turn off. And that's in our world the same way is we try to go, you know, who's got that drive and ambition? I personally look for people that have something to fight for. You know, my massive shout out to all our young guns from the Jay and the Stanley and the Wiley and all these groups that are exploding.
Yeah.
I personally had a challenge with a lot of young guys that I hired because they were mostly looking to make a few grand for beer money and to pay their cell phone.
Right.
So I've been transitioning to looking for people, and that's a lot of my recruiting calls. Hey man, are you married? Hey man, you got any kids? Hey, you got any babies? You know, what makes you want to get into insurance? You know, have you ever had sales before? What's the best year you've had? Just curious. You know, like just curious, just trying to feel you out. You know, oh cool, man. You know, have you ever worked leads before? Asking them temperature questions. How do they respond to them? Are they excited? Do they have a zest for life? You know what? I've never done leads. I've never made sales before. I don't know. I don't need much. Yeah, my best month, in my best year, I made like 32 grand. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, we're not really hiring right now, but reach back out to us if anything. We'll reach back out if anything changes. You know, I have to be protective of my time, my staff's time, and our resources. And if you come off as someone who's just low ambition, I'm sorry, I'm judging you on that.
Right.
You're essentially in a job interview with me who we work together, but like I have to determine, am I going to take a minute away from my wife and kids in business and other agents and staff to give you that minute? And if you're not showing me on a recruiting call, like as we're talking about the business, that you're excited about your future, there's nothing for us to talk about ever again.
Right.
I can't do it. And so I'm very kind of tactical. I'm really chill. Like, hey, what are you currently doing? What makes you want to get out of it? What do you like best about what you're currently doing? What do you like least about what you're currently doing? Right. I like the upside and the money I'm making. What do you like least? I hate my boss. I hate the fact that I can only work a certain amount of hours. Right. Those are kind of statements that say I want to be self-employed and I would like to be in a position where I could work more. I want to make more money. Right. What's your dream level of income? Oh man, if I could just make $42,000, I'd be so happy. Man, I would love to make 6 figures or more, man. I know some friends, I've been watching people making, a couple $100 grand. I couldn't imagine making that, but I would love to. All right. Do you know what it takes to make that level of income? I know I got to work really hard. All right, perfect. What, you know, are you used to working hard? Yeah, man, I've been working since I was 14, been doing, my parents had a farm and I was always get up with my dad. And, you know what I mean? You're just have a conversation with someone.
Yep.
How do they respond? Are they talking about positive, ambition driven? Do you want to have time with this person? Or do you want to slit your wrists and get off the call because their life suck?
Yep.
That's okay. And both are fine, because then you've got clarity and then you're making a decision. Dude, not hiring people, as you said earlier, I feel a 4% bad because I want hope. I want people to have a chance. I want people to have a change in their life, but I can't make them want the change as much as I want it for them.
Correct.
They have to want it.
Yep.
And you want it with your attitude, activity, and energy.
Yeah. Square pegs don't fit in round holes, bro. It's, you know, and it's that mentality. One of the things I did learn at this previous company was the idea of when you're recruiting, interview, qualify, and select. And that's exactly what you just laid out. You're doing an interview. Just because it's not a W-2 job doesn't mean you're not It's not a, you said this on your True Talk, it's not a can you fog the mirror, you can do this. Because the upside is so high here, but also the risk is so high as well. I mean, we've all recruited bad agents, Grady, and got debt rolled up, right? You've been there.
Yeah.
What's the biggest debt roll up you've had since working with us?
200.
$200K.
Yeah.
Not $200, $200,000, right? And I guarantee that was a bad agent that probably somehow slipped through, that if you were to go back, you probably wouldn't have recruited that individual.
100%.
Right?
Or stopped them sooner.
Stopped it sooner.
You know, you're believing in them, and they're going to dig it out, and they're going to figure it out.
Right.
And then they don't, and then they don't answer anymore. And you're like, where'd he go?
Yep. I love when we get these calls with me. I won't say their names here, Grady, but they'll be like, you know, hey, I'll call them up. Hey, bro, your guy has like $200K of debt that's about to roll. Carriers want to terminate him. I think it's a good idea. He's as earned right now. Hey, Mike, can we put him back on advance because he's going to work his way out of it? Oh, my God. No, he's not. He's going to double that. But he was not the right agent. You didn't interview, qualify, and select. This is not a fog the mirror, everybody join us, throw a bunch of shit against the wall and see what sticks. This is not our business. It's find the people that it makes sense for, like you said, that have that ambition, that answer the questions properly, that are positive. Well, this guy's just so negative, but he sells a bunch at his old company, Grady. Good, keep him there. Right? Like, you don't have to recruit him. If you are doing recruiting calls, you're talking to 10 people and 8 of them join, you're doing something wrong.
Well, it's sad.
Right? Like,
they're not. It's Pareto principle too. If I look at my whole agency of let's say 1,000 agents, the top 200 do 80% of the volume.
Correct.
And the bottom 80% do 20% of the volume. And I love all percents.
Yeah.
I love them all. But those 80% on the bottom should be doing more, and they're on their way out if they're not just on their way in. Because you can't. If this business, as Sean has taught us forever, is far too hard to just sell under 10 grand a month.
Yeah,
it's too hard because when you take out the advance, take out a couple chargebacks, take out lead costs and taxes, go back to do anything else.
Right.
It's too hard. It's not enough money.
Correct.
It's not worth it.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of people that in that lower percent that it would be better for them to just go get a job.
Correct.
And it's not a knock on that. It's just this business is not for everybody. It's this weird, like, almost catch-22 where you don't have to have a certain background or skill set to do this, but it's not for everyone. I would never sit here and go, anyone can do this, because it's not true at all. But you don't need a certain skill set or a sales background or that previous insurance knowledge. You don't. But before we wrap this up, Grady, talk to me about the attitude on that phone call, right? So you're the guy doing this recruiting call still. So it's like if you're not as big, there's probably like maybe 3 people bigger than you here, Grady, from an agency standpoint, right? So if you're not one of those people and you're building an agency and you're not doing your own recruiting, you're doing something wrong. Because Andrew Taylor, we did his True Talk a few weeks back. He still does his own recruiting. He's the biggest agency within FFL. So I don't know why anyone else wouldn't be. But talk to me about your attitude on that phone call with that recruit. Yeah.
I mean, to just answer that, it's if I'm going to take a direct agent, I should be directly talking to them first.
Correct.
Right. And that's the basis of it. I mean, and these conversations, as just to flash back, I used to have 30, 45-minute recruiting calls because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I would talk to Sean. He's like, Grady, if they're not licensed, it should be 5 to 7 minutes. And if they are licensed, it's 7 to 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Well, okay. Well, thanks for giving me the tips. That's what a good mentor is for.
Yep.
They give you the insight. And so, yeah, guys, these aren't super long conversations. They can be happening between your appointments, and you're trying to feel them out. But what I call it phone swagger, right? You got to have some, like, you got to know if you're here at FFL, you are at the absolute zenith, the pinnacle, the top, the best company that exists in our space. Right. And I don't say that because for any other reason that it's been verified and validated by the carriers at which we sell insurance with.
Correct.
There's no carrier that we sell life insurance with that we don't want to be number one with. There's some that have some quirks and issues with contracting or comp or things that their product needs to stop, sending our agents to phone interviews, and we've got challenges with them.
Right.
But I mean, Mike, is it 5, 6, 7 carriers that we write with that the whole other industry, right? All the other companies that compete with us, allegedly,
right,
they also sell with them.
Correct.
But we're number one with all of them.
Absolutely.
Every main carrier.
Year after year after year.
Year after year after year. So we're at the absolute best company that exists. We have no cost to join. We have an insane amount of lead availability, from ones you want to get that are real time, ones you want to get that are aged, ones you want to get that are phones, paper, freaking all the things, right? We have incredible amount of training. Producer bonus. Dude, Mike, I made a list the other day. I was like, so FFL has crazy high comp. We have carrier cash bonuses, carrier trips. FFL has its own producer bonus and our own FFL trips.
Right.
Like, that's just on top of the high comp.
Correct.
And so, and then there's agency manager bonuses. So there's all these things. Like, so to hear all that, guys, and know we're the number one, and know that there's no greater collection of elite producers. We're going to go from, and what I love about telling our story is I was like, 4 or 5 years ago, we were probably doing 3% of IULs.
Mm-hmm.
Then mortgage, but IULs, because we were so focused on selling final expense and mortgage. And mortgage is predominantly going to be a term to a whole life. But those producers who are buying a lot of mortgage are all crazy animal producers. And probably 3% of our business a few years ago was IULs. And you flash forward to today, where with the mortgage rates go up, right? Mortgage rates go up, and which plummets our retro and new mortgage leads because no one's refinancing or buying homes.
Right.
What do? Do we tuck our tail and run? Does everyone flee to mortgage to go to a different industry? Everyone becomes a realtor. Everyone gets back in network marketing. People go, start their own Etsy shop. Like, right. No one runs. They go, let's just learn a new product.
Correct.
And so now everybody's pivoted to IULs, where the persistency is so much higher anyway. And what do we do? 30, 40% of our company should be IULs this year.
Yeah.
Like, and so you think about the way that we move through the water as a group, and to then be in this position that, like, oh, so we just decided to move over here, and now we're going to do hundreds of millions of dollars of IUL because we stick together, and we're going to go take this company to $1 billion in the next year or two. So when I say all that, as I get goosebumps telling you about how passionate I am today in year 8 at being in this company, have phone swagger. Be confident. You have pocket aces, and they're bluffing on the flop, right? And like, we are at the finest company that could possibly been assembled. Do we have some quirks? Do we have some issues? Does contracting get hung up sometimes? Does someone not answer your email within 12 seconds and you get frustrated? Sure.
Right.
But overall, there is no greater company than ours. So that's my mentality when I'm talking to someone. And it's not with arrogance or ego, but it's like, listen, you're auditioning to work with us. And with respect, like, I would love to have you here, but do you have what it takes to be here? Like, we're a Broadway show that's been running for 20 years or 10 years, that the people that go perform on our cast, I don't know why I went down this Broadway show line, but the people that are on our cast, that people audition for years to get a chance to come work here. Like, that's what we've created, this behemoth, this beautiful behemoth of a company that has so much positive going on. You get to decide if you want to work here. So that's the essence. We're not begging. I'm not asking them to work. I'm not giving them 5 points below my comp because I need them to come sell here.
Correct.
I'm going, hey, will you be a good fit for our culture? Do you have a good attitude? Are you positive and encouraging? Are you driven for more? Are you currently listening to personal development? What are you working towards? Anything else you're working towards or that you do outside of this business? I don't know. I have I don't know what they'll answer in that situation, but I'm asking them questions. I'm trying to get to know them, but I'm trying to find out what kind of person they are. Are they a guy that, just needs, cell phone and beer money? Are they a guy that steps out on his wife? Is it a guy who has kids, but he hasn't seen him in 2 years? Right? What kind of person is this? Do I want to spend time with this person?
Yeah.
And that's really what I'm not judging them but I also can choose to not work with that type of person.
Correct.
I can choose to go, this person is ready. They got $1,000 ready for leads. They're focused on the future. They got big goals. They know they have a network from a previous business they were in. I'll tell you right now, Mike, there's a tsunami of solar people coming here.
Yep.
Because of the volatility in that industry, the corporate regulation, the government regulation, state by state government regulation, so much volatility that those are good people. I mean, to anyone that's go walk doors and knock doors to cold knock 12 hours a day to try to find a customer, these are people that want to make it happen. So if you've made it to the end of this call and you're trying to get better, start reaching out to some people that are in the solar industry. Say, hey, this may or may not be for you. I'm sure you're doing great in solar, but if anything ever changes, let's stay connected because insurance is doing incredible. I would always recruit and our insurance companies have guaranteed contracts for compensation. I sell a policy with Mutual of Omaha. Bob and Betty pay monthly. I am guaranteed to get paid.
Correct.
When they stop paying, something, that we're going to have they're going to get a chargeback, et cetera. But guaranteed contracts for compensation by billion-dollar insurance companies. This isn't some company that started up a solar distribution channel 12 months ago and they're shipping in panels from Taiwan.
Right.
Like, these things have been around. NLG's been around since before the light bulb, right? Like
Correct.
So for you guys, have confidence in the insurance industry, in FFL, in who you are, how much you sold, what you can teach them to do. That's phone swagger, if you will. The doctor patient, pocket aces, et cetera.
Dude, I love it. It's all about the mentality. It's all about the attitude. And it's just, I love how it goes hand in hand with sales too. I think a lot of times we're looking for the right thing to say, the right rebuttal. What do you say? That doesn't matter. It's about the mentality, and you have to believe all the stuff that you just said, Greg. I have no doubt that you believe it because I hear it, I feel it, and you have to do the same thing when you're on the phone. You have to, Mike, I just started this week. Doesn't matter. We've been around since 2013, bro. We've proven this model over and over and over again. You talk about the bonuses. I just want to give you some numbers real quick. So this is just last week. Now, obviously, you're probably watching this a few weeks later. But last week, we had 3,500 agents get paid on a policy in a week. Now, in a year, we probably have 16,000, 17,000 total. But in 1 week, 3,400. Now, you mentioned bonuses because there's some companies where there's bonuses, Grady, but they have 30,000 agents and like 20 get a bonus, right? That's cool, but there's no room at the top there.
Yeah.
With our bonus, we have a VP bonus, producer bonus. This is above and beyond your commission you get for selling your policies. This is non-chargeback. Sean always used to say this. It's non-chargebackable money. So we haven't even paid these yet. This is for the next month. We have between producer and VP over 1,000 individuals getting a bonus. Oh, yeah. Now, let me tell you how much money combined. Close to $3 million we are going to be paying across about 1,000 agents. For 1 month, we do that every month, Grady.
Wow.
What's been your biggest manager bonus since you've joined FFL?
167,000.
For 1 month?
Yeah.
1 month. And when we talked about earlier, when you were making $40K a year.
Yeah.
And that was 1 month. Now, obviously, you're not going to start day one and get that bonus. But the point is the potential here, because of that answer right there, that's why you should have that mentality of the recruit, not to sound like an ass, but you're lucky you're on the phone with somebody from Family First Life. You're lucky you made it through because of what we have to offer. It's like when you're talking about the Broadway, I don't know anything about Broadway, dude. Like I saw Wicked with my daughter, the movie, and I never went to the Broadway show. I saw it was a funny, I think Nikki Glazer said this, like, I didn't watch Wicked because I had friends in high school, but that's besides the point. I'm older, I'm a couple years younger than you, but to me it's like the Yankees of the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, all these guys winning all these World Series. That's who we are in this day and age.
Yeah.
You
we're humble about it.
We're humble.
We're not going to shove in your face, but we're going to make sure that you know it, and we're going to show you our numbers, and
Yeah.
And we're going to encourage you to be able to do it too. We
Absolutely.
believe you can do it too. Can anyone do it? I mean, anyone who makes it depends. It's knowledge plus skill set equals your value to the marketplace.
Correct.
What you know, how evolved you develop your skills determines what you can make.
Yep.
One's value to the marketplace is in elite, right? We're following a great man.
Right.
And to be in that position in this company gives you the opportunity. This is what's on the table. This is what's on, as Jim Rohn would talk about. This is what's on the ladder. Right? You just keep going up that ladder. People bitching about minimum wage. Well, just take more steps up the ladder.
Correct.
Right? How much do you want to make? What do you want to create for your life? What legacy do you want to design for your future?
Right. Take control of it. Don't leave it up to somebody else. And I think that's probably the best thing about what we do is you have full control. Whatever you do or don't do, once you make it through the cut, once you're interviewed, qualified, selected, you join the team, it's on you. How little you do, how much you do, it's all on you. You mentioned, when you first started, you weren't recruiting, you were selling, making more money than you ever had in your life, but that was based on your efforts. It didn't matter if your recruit didn't pan out. It didn't matter if you had a bad lead, bad day, whatever. It was based off of your attitude, your activity, and that's why you made it to where you are today. So, Grady, appreciate you hopping on. Appreciate everything you shared and what you're doing, leading by example. And I love hearing guys like you, Andrew, Zach, still doing the recruiting, still working day in and day out. Like integrity partner, you made a bunch of money, life's great, but your job now, your goal now is to help other people get to wherever they want to get to. And that's the beauty about this business is there is no lid. There's no like 3,500 agents got paid last week. We could have 35,000 agents get paid in a week and still not be oversaturated or too big. Because we're selling life insurance. Everybody needs it. Yeah. We're not selling like juices, potions that maybe everybody might like them, but you don't need an energy drink, dude. Right? Well like if I don't have the energy drink, I'm not going to die. But if I don't have life insurance, when I die, my family's screwed.
Horrible.
And that's everybody in America. So thanks again, Grady. Guys, thanks for checking us out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get registered, fflconvention.com for next year's event. Grady also has, I say Grady, but you guys are putting together this massive Ignite conference in Phoenix, early June. What's the website for that again?
IgniteEvent.com.
There you go.
Big fun day pulled together. Love to have you out there and come join us.
Absolutely. And you can pre-register now. You guys are figuring out the date. Matter of fact, probably by the time you're watching this, it may already be settled, but it's early June. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for checking us out. You know where to find us every week right here on The Next Level. We'll see you next week.